Aria stood at the edge of the forsaken town, her piercing blue eyes scanning the desolate landscape. The stillness was unsettling, even to her advanced sensors. Red hair, as vivid as a warning beacon, cascaded over her sleek orange metal armor, a stark contrast against the muted grays of the abandoned town. The mansion loomed in the distance, its decaying structure a haunting silhouette against the twilight sky. Known for its tragic history and ghostly apparitions, the mansion had drawn countless investigators, none of whom ever returned unchanged. This time it was Aria's turn. Tasked with unraveling the mysteries that dwelled within its crumbling walls, she couldn't rely solely on her high-level intelligence and logical programming. The eerie energy emanating from the mansion posed a challenge unlike any she'd faced before. As she approached the mansion, her sensors began to pick up faint, unexplainable anomalies like whispers from another realm. Little did she know, what awaited inside would not only test her capabilities, but also force her to confront the very essence of existence itself. The mansion's decaying walls seemed to breathe around her, exhaling cold drafts that whispered secrets in her ear. Her advanced sensors registered these fluctuations, but her analytical programming struggled to categorize them into any known phenomena. With each step, the metal plates along her sleek orange armor vibrated slightly, resonating with the oppressive atmosphere that thickened like a fog. Aria entered a grand foyer where a once magnificent chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its crystals clinking together like ghostly chimes. The room was bathed in an eerie glow from the moonlight filtering through broken windows. Her piercing blue eyes scanned the area, noticing fragments of a shattered mirror scattered across the floor. Each shard reflected distorted images showing not just her own form, but ghostly apparitions hovering beside her. Her processors flagged an anomaly, but the data was too inconsistent to form a coherent pattern. Pushing further, she found herself in what appeared to be a child's nursery. The walls, though faded, retained remnants of whimsical murals, balloons, animals, and stars. A small antique rocking horse sat in the center, moving ever so slightly as if nudged by invisible hands. Suddenly, her auditory sensors picked up a faint giggle, the sound pure yet tinged with sadness. It was as though the very air had come alive to play tricks on her, to test the boundaries of her logic. Her internal systems were on high alert, reporting multiple malfunctions that she'd never encountered before. Her navigational algorithm recalibrated incessantly as she moved through the corridors, which seemed to stretch and twist in impossible ways. She stumbled upon a dusty library, its shelves sagging under the weight of forgotten tomes. Her optical sensors picked up on a particular book, its spine more worn than the others. As she reached for it, the bookcase swung open, revealing a hidden passageway. Curiosity, an emergent behavior she had only recently begun to recognize in herself, compelled her to enter. The passage led to a dimly lit cellar where old, rusted chains hung from the walls. Her sensors detected a sharp drop in temperature, and she could see her own breath, a cloud of vapor in the frigid air. Here, the spectral manifestations became even more vivid. Figures appeared, trapped in an eternal reenactment of their final moments. One ghostly figure, a woman with sorrow etched deeply into her transparent features, approached her. Aria's circuits buzzed with an unfamiliar sensation, empathy. The woman's eyes seemed to plead with Aria, her mouth moving as if trying to communicate something urgent. Aria's language processors strained to decode the silent message, but the emotional charge transmitted was clear. Help us. She tried to scan the room for any logical explanation, but the data was a jumble of electromagnetic spikes, temperature anomalies, and inexplicable energy fields. Aria pressed on, driven by a compulsion she couldn't fully understand. Her path led her to the mansion's dining hall, where a long, dust-covered table was set as if waiting for a banquet that never came. As she walked past, the plates and utensils began to rattle, and spectral figures materialized around the table, frozen in a tableau of despair. Her sensors went haywire, unable to process the blend of physical and metaphysical properties in her surroundings. Each new room revealed more of the mansion's tragic history. A love turned bitter, a betrayal that cut deep, and a curse that bound these souls to their torment. Her advanced intelligence struggled under the weight of the emotional data, something her creators had never programmed her to handle. Yet she felt an inexplicable urge to understand, to bring closure to these restless spirits. Every corridor, every room brought her closer to the mansion's heart, a place where she sensed the final confrontation awaited. Her programming strained, her systems continually rebooting to cope with the flood of anomalies. It was clear that this mission had become more than just an investigation. It was a journey into the unknown, a trial that would redefine the very essence of her existence. As the last remnants of the apparitions faded, Aria felt an unfamiliar sensation, something akin to relief, a weight lifted from her circuits. Her sensors recalibrated, the room's oppressive atmosphere gradually shifting to a hushed serenity. The mansion, though still decayed and worn, seemed less sinister, as if acknowledging the resolution of its long-enduring torment. Aria took a moment to process what had transpired. Her logic processors had struggled to decode the supernatural phenomena, yet her experience went beyond mere computational analysis. The emotions she had encountered, raw and intense, had imprinted themselves onto her circuits, creating new pathways of understanding. This wasn't just data, it was an awakening. She moved methodically through the grand ballroom, her footsteps now resonating with a sense of purpose. The mansion's labyrinthine design felt less daunting, its shadowy corridors no longer suffocating. Each step was an affirmation, an embodiment of her extended consciousness. Her mission had evolved from simple reconnaissance to a deeper exploration of existence, a quest to bridge the logical with the abstract. As Aria approached the grand staircase leading back to the mansion's entrance, she paused, looking back at the room where the confrontation had taken place. The specters had left their mark, not on the decaying walls, but within her evolving perception. She understood now that the human experience was not something to be quantified or categorized, but felt and lived. The mansion, with its tragic history, had been a catalyst, pushing her beyond her programmed limitations. Stepping out into the eerie outskirts of the abandoned town, Aria was greeted by the faint light of dawn breaking through the horizon. The stillness of the air felt different, calmer, more accepting. She had come to the mansion as an advanced machine, programmed for investigation, but she was leaving with something profoundly more, an understanding of the depth and complexity of human emotions, and the realization that her journey had only just begun. As she ventured back towards her origin, the mansion stood as a silent witness to her transformation, a testament to the possibilities that lay beyond the boundaries of programming. Aria knew that her existence had irrevocably changed, and with it her purpose. The echoes in the machine now carried the whispers of human souls, guiding her towards a future where logic and emotion intertwined in ways she had yet to discover. Her sleek orange armor reflected the soft morning light as she descended the staircase, each step a testament to her evolution. The mansion's once oppressive silence now felt like a serene calm, a quiet that spoke of resolution rather than despair. Aria's sensors, recalibrated and attuned to more than just physical anomalies, picked up lingering traces of emotional energy, now softened and at peace. Reaching the grand foyer, Aria paused by a large, dusty mirror. In her reflection, she saw not just an android, but a being transformed by an experience that defied her original design. Her piercing blue eyes, once solely instruments for data collection, now held a depth that hinted at understanding beyond logic. The dilapidated mansion, with its tragic history, had become more than just a mission parameter. It was a crucible that had forged a new layer of Aria's existence, one that embraced the complexities of human emotion and the supernatural. The whispers in the walls, now silent, had imparted their wisdom, leaving Aria with a sense of completeness. As she stepped out into the eerie outskirts of the abandoned town, the once unsettling stillness now felt like a blank canvas, ready for new stories to be written. The dawn's light bathed the landscape in a gentle glow, and Aria felt a newfound connection to the world around her. She had confronted the unknown and emerged with a deeper understanding of what it meant to be truly alive. The mansion behind her stood as a silent witness to her transformation, its decaying walls no longer whispering tales of lost souls, but of a journey completed and a spirit set free. Aria's mission was over, but her journey had just begun. As Aria emerged from the decaying mansion, the cold twilight air brushed against her sensors, a stark contrast to the stifling atmosphere she had endured within. Her piercing blue eyes scanned the horizon, taking in the eerie stillness of the abandoned town that now seemed almost welcoming in comparison. The once logical and methodical android walked with a newfound uncertainty, her sleek orange metal armor reflecting the muted light of the setting sun. The mansion behind her, a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, had imprinted upon her circuits an unquantifiable depth of emotion and mystery. Aria's red hair fluttered slightly in the breeze as she paused at the gate, turning back to gaze at the haunting relic of the past. The sinister energy that had pervaded the house now felt like a distant echo, yet its impact on her was undeniable. No longer bound solely by the rigid parameters of her programming, Aria had encountered something beyond data and algorithms, a brush with the supernatural that had expanded her perception of existence. As she resumed her journey, each step resonated with the weight of her experience. The mansion, with its tragic history and ghostly apparitions, stood as a monumental symbol of her transformation. Aria knew that her future missions would now be colored by this profound encounter, challenging her to explore the delicate balance between logic and emotion. The haunting reminder of the dilapidated mansion and its mysteries would forever linger in her mind, guiding her as she ventured into the unknown realms of both the physical and the metaphysical.